garden!
Panache and repartee, you have my congratulations. You only lack one thing keeping you from being the perfect holder, a cheese cellar.
Then you'll be happy, Plag. I live in a hotel, and the restaurant has the largest cheese cellar in Paris. Largest cheese cellar in Paris. Largest cheese cellar in Paris. Cheese cellar in Paris. But you'll have to be very careful.
Careful is my middle name.
What are you doing here? You and your dirty sneakers are not allowed inside the restaurant. The half of a sister zone is limited to the freight elevator, the back stairs, and the broom closets. Get ready to move back to New York. Mom! I'm sorry, Chloe. It won't happen again. What can I do to make it up to you?
So, it smells just like cheese, but it's not cheese? And it needs cleaning, too? How about I cataclysm that sister of yours instead?
It's pointless, Plag.
Zoe, you can't let them treat you that way. No one speaks to me like that. Just ask the T-Rexes. That is, if you can find one, because they're not so smug anymore now, are they?
It's best to stay out of trouble in this family if I'm going to protect my secret identity.
You start by giving up cheese, and then you end up giving up on dignity, freedom, and justice!
I feel like you like to blow things out of proportion, don't you?
Yes, especially when I'm starving.
And voila! This version is simpler, less princessy, don't you think? Mm-hmm. And with less items to gather and put together, I might actually finish this dress in time. If only it was that simple with Adrien. I'm trying not to come up with any more complicated ideas, but it's still hard to tell him how I feel.
I get it. Telling someone how you feel is not easy. It's the most difficult thing in the world, actually. I also can't tell the person I love my true feelings.
No way! You're in love? That's so awesome! Who is it? Oh, is it someone I know from our school? I'm so happy for you!
It's pretty complicated.
If it's complicated, you can tell me. I'm an expert in complicated situations.
Anyway, there's no point in thinking about it because in 2 weeks' time, we won't see each other anymore.
A 9th grader, then. Oh, I'm totally butting into your business, but one thing I know for sure is that this person must be wonderful if someone as awesome as you loves them.
Yes, wonderful. Loved by everyone.
Kinda like Adrien, then. I know how hard this is, but love conquers all. When you love someone, nothing's impossible. Nothing's forbidden. Love has no limits, no boundaries.
Except this person's in love with someone else.
Oh, right. It does sound like that could be an obstacle, but who knows? Maybe he's not really in love with the person you think that he is. And even if he were, why couldn't he be in love with another person, or 2 people, or even no one at all?
It's true, you are an expert at complicated situations, Marinette.
Anyway, if you won't be seeing each other anymore in 2 weeks, there'll never be a better time than the party to say how you feel.
I have to call my drama teacher and tell him I can't make it to class.
Okay, I'll wait for you outside.
Wow, the Eiffel Tower! You girls nailed it.
It was all thanks to Zoe. She's the real hero. You should have seen her stand up to Chloe. She's not getting walked all over anymore. Hey, did you know she has a secret crush on a 9th grader?
No. Who is he?
I wish I knew. I would have helped her otherwise.
You, the great expert of love declarations?
Come on, this is serious. Zoe's in 8th grade, which means her true love won't be at the same school anymore next year.
It's hard to help her when we don't even know who he is.
True. What if Zoe's in love with Adrien?
Huh?
Everybody loves Adrien! That would explain why she didn't want to tell me!
What are you going to say to her if Adrien is the love of her life?
I don't know. I'll keep you posted. Bye!
If we don't hurry, we're gonna miss it.
Who, Adrien?
No, the florist. The shop closes soon. You think about Adrien a lot, don't you?
Oh, no. I don't think about him that much. You know, he doesn't belong to me. Well, I mean, he kind of does a little, but none of this matters because no one really belongs to anyone. What matters is what brings us together and what you and I are supposed to do. You know, organize the school dance. It It was so kind of you, Zoe, but don't ever sacrifice yourself for me or for anyone else. And the same thing goes for your feelings. I know you're in love with Adrien. Don't sacrifice your feelings for him because of me. He has a right to hear your declaration.
Adrien, but you're the one he loves.
Even if he loves me, he'd be flattered to know that you love him too. Let him know how you feel about him. Zoe, you're an amazing person. One can only feel honored to be loved by you.
Are you sure?
Of course. You can't keep it to yourself.
But Adrien's not the one I'm in love with.
Oh? Who is it then? Oh. I am truly very honored. I mean it, Zoe.
Thanks, Marinette. You're right. It's such a relief to get these things off your chest. You should try it too.
What do you mean?
Adrien, what are you waiting for? Go tell him you love him.
But wait, what? How is he gonna react? And what am I gonna say to him? What if I just do what I always do, mess things up and definitely ruin things between us?
Marinette, I've been wanting to tell you how I feel since the day I met you. But since you're madly in love with Adrien, I thought it would be pointless and ruin things between us. But look, I just told you, and I can see it doesn't change anything.
Which changes everything for me.
You were right. Telling someone that you love them doesn't ruin anything. It's time you started taking your own advice, too. What are you waiting for? Go!
You're not going, Zoe?
Thanks, but no thanks. I prefer brain-eating zombies in movies, not in real life. And that's just what the Diamond Dance is, a party for brain-eating zombies. Back in New York, I already hated these hypocritical parties where I had to pretend to be friends with the same brats who were making my life a nightmare at school. Now that I've learned not to allow my family to control my life, thanks to you, there's no way I'm going back to the old one. I'd much rather watch a movie with you.
Now I get why Adrien didn't look too happy to leave earlier. But that still doesn't explain why he didn't tell me about it.
You know, it's easy for me not to go. My sister hates me, my mother can barely remember my name. No one will notice I'm not there, but it's different for Adrien. Everyone knows him. He's the heir of Gabriel Agreste, greatest fashion designer in the world. All of this puts a huge amount of pressure on him.
Of course, it makes total sense. That's why he didn't tell me. I helped him escape from his modeling life so he couldn't bring himself to tell me that he was still under his dad's rule. He was afraid to disappoint me. Oh, poor Adrien. To think that I can't even go there to support him.
You could, if you really wanted to.
I can't go to the ball dressed like this.
Oh, don't worry about that. They'll have planned everything.